Giraffe with Gerald Giraffe. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a really good week. I have a special someone here for you, and they've got a bit of a problem they'd like us to help him with. So there we go, look. It's Gerald. Say hello to Gerald, everybody. Hi, Gerald. Now, Gerald, what have you come to talk to me about today? Really? Gerald has won a competition. Isn't that right, Gerald? Amazing. Now, this competition is very exciting. He won a competition because he's so good at maths. And his prize was some sweeties, wasn't it, Gerald? And he gets to choose any jar of sweets in the whole shop. Is that right, Gerald? Amazing. He has a problem though. He wants to choose the sweets he wants to choose the jar with the most sweets in, because then he's going to have a party with his giraffe friends, aren't you, Gerald? So you want to be able to share them. That's really nice. Oh, thank you, Gerald. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to help Gerald to make sure that he chooses the jar with the most sweets, so that he can share them with all of his friends and do that kind of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to nip over to that sweet shop now, and there's lots of different jars of sweets on the shelf. So we need to have a look at the jars of sweets, and then we need to decide which one we need to choose for Gerald. Can you help me, children? I can't hear you. You have to shout a bit louder. Can you help me, children? Gerald, I think we're going to be okay. I think the children are going to help us to count the sweets. How exciting. Right, let's head over to the sweet shop. Okay, we've made it to Gerald's friend's sweet shop. Now, I believe the sweet shop belongs to Susie. Is that right? So, Susie, what animal is Susie? Susie's a snake. That's a funny job for a snake to have. Susie the snake and her sweet shop. Well, anyway, we're going into Susie's sweet shop now, and we will see what sweeties there are for us. In we go. Yes, it's telling us. Oh, there's something written on the door of the sweet shop. It says, Gerald won a contest. Oh, yes, that's right, Gerald. We all know that now. And his prize is to choose a jar of sweets. Can you help him to choose the jars with the most sweets? Okay, so we've got 2 jars of sweets here. Which one do you think we should choose? Well, why don't we see? Because they're quite similar, but I think one might have more than the other. Do you think so? What do you think, children? Which jar of sweets do you think has the most in? Can you point to the jar of sweets with the most in? Okay, how could we check? Gerald's got a suggestion. Do you know how we could check? Gerald is saying that we should count. So count with me. We're going over here and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 sweets in that jar. And how many sweets do we have in this jar? Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 sweets in that jar. So which jar has the most sweets? That's right. It's this jar over here. The jar with 4 sweets has the most sweets on that shelf. Now, I think there are other jars of sweets we can go and have a look at too. Let's have a look. Oh yes, there's another shelf with more sweets on. Now, which one do you think has the most sweets in? Shall we count and check? Okay, let's start over here with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This jar has 6 sweets in, so that's a bigger number than the last jar, so that's a good improvement, isn't it, Gerald? There'll be more sweets to share. And let's count this jar. Count with me, children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 sweets in that jar. So which jar has the most sweets? Can you point to the jar with the most sweets? Okay, let's see what the answer is. That's right, it's this jar over here that has the most sweets, 8, because 8 is a bigger number than 6, isn't it, Gerald? Okay, I think I spot another shelf. That's right, let's go and have a look at the other shelf. Ooh. Which jar do we think has the most sweets? Shall we count together? And start this side. 1, 2. There are only 2 sweets in this jar. That would only be enough for me and you, wouldn't it, Gerald? And not enough for the party. And how many sweets are in this jar? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 sweets in this jar. So which one has the most sweets? Let's find out. That's right, well done, children. There are 5 sweets in this one, and 5 is a bigger number than 2, so this jar has the most sweets on this shelf. I think there might be another shelf. Let's have a look. There is, I think this is the last shelf in the sweet shop. So let's see which jar of sweets we're going to choose as having the most sweets. So children, which one do you think has the most sweets? Shall we check? Let's count over here first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 sweets in this jar. And how many are there in this one? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 sweets in this jar. Which jar has the most sweets? That's right, this jar over here, because this jar has 5 and 5 is a bigger number than 4. That's right, Gerald, yes. So, we have been to each shelf in the whole sweet shop, haven't we, Gerald? And we have chosen the jars with the most sweets on each shelf, haven't we? So what do we need to do now? Well, we've got a collection, Gerald, of jars here. And now we need to decide, yeah, that's right. Now we need to decide which jar has the most sweets overall, so that we have enough sweets to share with all of your friends at your special giraffe party. Okay, so children, which jar do you think has the most sweets in? Do you want to point to the screen now? And now I think we should check. And how can we check? That's right, by counting. So let's start over here. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 sweets in this jar. And how many in the next one? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. There are also 5 sweets in this jar. So these 2 sweets have the same number. So these 2 jars have the same number of sweets. Let's move on to this jar. That looks like a big number of sweets, doesn't it? Let's find out how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 sweets in this jar. Now, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yes, 8 is a bigger number than 5. So this is the jar of sweets which has the most in at the moment. But let's just check this jar just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 sweets in this jar, and 8 is our biggest number. So this must be the jar, Gerald, that you're going to take to the party. Well done. Well, thank you so much, children. You have helped Gerald to get the sweets for his party. And look at him now. He is having a party with all his friends. This is what you're going to be doing later, Gerald, aren't you? You're going to be partying with your friends and your sweets. Yes, you are. Yeah. He is going to have so much fun, and so his friends, thanks to you. So thank you so much for helping Gerald to count all the sweets. Oh, he's blowing you a kiss. And I also have a really fun activity that you can do now where you can colour in the sweets with the most. Okay, so the jar with the most sweets, you can colour that in. And you can have that. That's a sheet that's available to download on the link. So download the worksheet and you can colour in the jar of sweets with that has the most sweets in. Mrs. Allen's getting so very confused with all this talk of sweets. I think it's because I can't wait to get to the party and to eat all of those sweets with you, Gerald. Okay, see you later, everybody. Have fun. Have a good day. Bye. Maths with Gerald.